Hello, everyone. Good morning. My name is Ayana Elohim, and I'm going to be your presenter today. We do have quite a few people signed up for the webinar, so I'm going to give it one more minute while everyone jumps in. Just some housekeeping while we're waiting. In the chat box, I have put in a sign-up link. If you do not have your own quote and apply software, you can sign up for our complimentary life insurance software now. The link is in the chat. If you can't see that, let me know. Okay, this presentation will be recorded and you will get a copy of the recording tomorrow in case you miss anything. I will do a short Q&A at the end of the presentation, so just put your questions in the chat box. In the question box, sorry. Okay. All right, let's get started. So again, my name is Ayana Elohim. I'm going to be your presenter today. We are going to be talking about quote and apply and our back office support system. So quote and apply is the first ever multi-carrier agent and or consumer facing e-application for life insurance. So let's keep it very simple. We give you, the agent, a link, a landing page, a website, and that gives you or your clients the ability to run life insurance quotes in seconds and apply in minutes. So we're just going to go over a quick demo of the software. Again, if you have questions going through it, just put it in the question box. If I see it while I'm talking, I will address it. If not, I will talk about it at the end. Then we're going to jump into our BOSS, so the back office support system, which tracks everything from submission all the way to commission. All right. So this is our Back9 website, and we're going to the demo. So this is what your software will look like. Your logo or picture or whatever you want to put here can be customized, as well as this wording. You can see up here this need help box. It will give as the agent, your phone number. It'll be able to send you a message. And if you have some type of calendar application like Calendly, you can have that in here as well, and they can schedule a meeting right here on the spot. That's the same thing if it's let's chat. They can chat now, they can schedule a meeting, or they can send you a message. Okay. So what happens is client or you as the agent put in first or last name, then we go on and hit next. Then we get right into gender, so male or female. This is pre-filled. We do have an open API, so you can pre-fill it if you have this information. Otherwise, you'll just have to input it. Health status. So we know everyone's healthy as a horse, guys, right until that exam comes back. So we have percentages with each heart just so they have more of an understanding. So 5 hearts, everyone thinks they're super, super healthy. Actually, only 10% of applicants actually qualify for super preferred. And then it goes all the way down to 1 heart. Okay. 2 hearts, about 75 applicants actually qualify. So I always run my quotes between 2 and 3 hearts. I like to manage expectations, right? If you have a table rating, maybe you did an impaired risk quote, which I will show you a little bit later, and let's say you got an offer from a carrier, but they're giving you a table rating. You can specify health class here. In this drop menu, it has the first 5 hearts that we just went over, but then it also has table ratings up to table 6, just to give you a more accurate quote. For now, I'm going to go back to the hearts and I'll run as a table. 2 hearts. Then we get into smoking status. So we know people are smoking different things nowadays. So if they are smoking, they want to know what they're smoking and they want to know how often they're doing it. Same thing for previously. They just want to know when they quit. For now, I'll put never. Then we get into height and weight. So this question they can skip in the beginning, but it will come back around when it comes to underwriting questions and of course the exam. We get right into birth date. This is called our assist page. So if you put your link somewhere, let's say you put it on your social media or maybe your email signature, and someone's going on to do a quote and they have no idea what they're doing it for, right? This is to help them along the way. This page can be taken off of your quote and apply, or you can leave it there. I suggest if you're putting your software out there to the public, then I would leave this there in case they need any help. So if they do need help, you just say yes, please. And then it breaks it down for them. What's their top priority for this policy? Okay, so when you have time, I suggest you go through and see how we run each of these boxes. Obviously, I want term insurance. That's pretty straightforward. But I want to supplement my retirement income. We're running as an accumulation IUL. We're running as a minimum non-MEC. So again, when you have time, go through each box and just see how we're running it, okay? I'm going to hit no thanks. And then besides me talking, we have rates in seconds. All right. So what this is showing you right now is $1 million of term insurance. We have 10, 15, 20, 25, all the way up to a 40-year term. The prices shown are the lowest prices available. Okay. What if they say, Ayana, $1 million is not enough. I need 2 million. I'm going to move my cursor right up and my quotes will repopulate. Okay. Same thing. I need 10 million. Quotes are going to repopulate. Let's just take it back down. Let's say they decided they want to go with a 20-year term. So I'm going to click a 20-year term. And the first rate that's going to pop up is going to be your lowest rate available. It's also going to give you some details as well. As you scroll down, you'll see second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, up to 15 different options with labels for you as well. Okay, so this is kind of where the shopping goes into play. So we do have our preferred, which just means it's been going smooth as of lately. Now that can change within a week's time, so these labels will change. If you're looking for no physical exam, we have those as well. With a no physical exam, of course, it does depend on the underwriting questions and how your client answered those questions. Okay, if you're looking for vitality, we have those as well. With all of these, there is a drop-down menu, so anytime you select one, it's going to give you a few details, show policy details, hit that drop-down menu, and then it's going to talk about the physical exam, the conversion, the product guide, how the policy will be delivered, and then your class. Okay, I am going to hide that. A lot of people think because this software is so easy that you can't write really big policies. So right on here, if I wanted to, I can write a $40 million policy. Okay, I mean, this is amazing policy, but of course there's going to be financial underwriting with this, but I just wanted to show you the power you have with the software. So I want to take a quick step back. I'm going to move my cursor back down. So I'm sure you guys have all heard of the term underinsured. And we've built in right here is a calculator. So we built this for clients. So we found that agents really like to go through this with their clients. So if I'm speaking to a client, what's your mortgage balance, Mr. Client? Let's just say it's 400,000. Any other debt? Let's say I have 20,000. Number of children, I'm going to say I have 2 kids, and let's say they're 4 and 5. The beneficiary benefit. I think this is what a lot of people forget about, is what is your beneficiary going to need in order to maintain this lifestyle. So let's just say it's 100,000. For how many years? The kids are pretty young, so I'm going to say at least 15 years. Current coverage, let's say they have none. Savings balance, we'll keep it at 24,000, and I'm just going to hit calculate. Once I do that, this is giving me the bare minimum of what they're going to need to cover those previous expenses. Okay, so if they're saying this may not be the right number, you can go back and recalculate it. If not, just hit show quotes. You'll see my cursor did move up automatically and new quotes are populated. On here, we also have accidental death. We're showing you term right now. We have return of premium term, and then we have our lifetime, which is our permanent products. So we have a plethora of permanent products. Final expense will also show up in here when the client is over 45 years old and the death benefit is under 40,000. So I'm just going to move this down. The amazing part about our permanent products on Quote and Apply is that you can run illustrations right here on the spot. These used to take a lot of back and forth with carriers, right? But now we can do it right there on the spot, and you can make changes and rerun it and the illustration will change. So again, they're giving you some details. If you drop down, we have more details down here. And then these are the carriers, right? But down here is where you can really customize it. Maybe you don't want to have them paying for life. Maybe you want to do a 10 pay, right? Maybe you want to add in a long-term care rider. You do that here. Let's say you don't want to run it as a max non-mech, right? You want to run it as a minimum non-mech. Again, you can change that right here. Do all the changes you want. You hit rerun. And the quotes will repopulate. There you have it. Okay. So you see we've added the long-term care rider. Okay. You'll see the information right here, the policy growth, if the exam is required, coverage length, premium duration, right? And it also talks about tax-free income. So if that's a conversation you're not comfortable having about permanent insurance, please let us know. We would love to hop on with you and your client and really just educate them, okay? If you are looking for some stuff to show your clients, if you click here, this is one of my favorite sheets. We call it the bucket sheet, but it really explains what they're paying as far as taxes with these other buckets, right? All these buckets are great buckets, but we're talking about taxes here. And so we could show them how to build non-reportable tax-free income with life insurance. So again, if that's a question, a topic you're not comfortable talking about with your clients, please let us know. We will help you with that. So I'm going to take it back. I'll go back into term. And let's say we decide to go with a 20-year term. Your client shops around a little bit and they decide they want to go with nationwide. Then we just hit continue. Once you hit continue, you're straight into the application for nationwide. You do not have to go anywhere else, okay? It's right here. Because this is pre-filled, the email address and phone number are already here. This if it's not, if you're doing this with your client, the first and last name will be there, but you will have to put in their email address and phone number. If you're doing this with your client, you do not have to send them a link, so just hit no. If you're doing this just running a quote and you want your client to fill up the rest of them, you could hit yes, and then a link to the application will be sent to them for them to log back in and continue all the way through. So you go on and hit next. We get right into client's address information. After that, we get into employment information. If they're not employed, you hit no. If they are, all the information we put inputted here. Then we get into ownership. So if this client will not own the policy, you just say no, and then you're able to do an individual, business, or trust on here. If they will own the policy, same thing. The beneficiary can be an individual, business, or trust. So for now, I'm going to do individual. Let's say it's Miss Stowe, and that's the wife. I just go on and hit next. You can also add contingent information on here. You do not have to, so I'm going to skip it for now. Personal information, so income, assets, liabilities, all that stuff is right here. Fill that in, go on and hit next. If they have any existing policies, they can add them here now. They're just going to need their carrier, policy number, the face amount, and then the status of the policy, whether it's staying active, if it's being replaced, if it's being replaced with 1035, everything could be right here. For now, I'm going to say no, we don't have any, and skip it. Then we get into physician information. So we know how hard it is a lot of times to get these physician information from the actual doctors. So we have partnered with Human API, and we are able to log into your client's patient portal for their provider. So all you do is hit log into patient portal. This is launching now, then you just hit get started. Then you're going to find your provider. So let's say it's Kaiser, right? I hear Kaiser is the hardest ones to get medical records from. So we're going to search whatever group you're in and put in your username and password. If they don't have an account, they can create an account. If they forgot their password, they can reset it here as well. Once they log into their patient portal, we're able to pull their API records right here on the spot and put it right with the application, okay? So this is one of my favorite features. If they don't want to do it right there on the spot with you, that's fine. Send them a text message and an email invitation, and they can do it on their own time. And you just go on and hit next. Then we get into these underwriting questions. Like I said, if you didn't put your height and weight before, they will come back into play right now. I'm just going to answer these quickly and go on and hit next. Policy payment information. So you can, if carriers allow, you can bind coverage here or just pay for the policy here. You'll just need routing number and account number. If not, just hit no. Go on and hit next. Then we get into physical exam, guys. So I know how hard it's been to get these clients to actually book their exam, go to the exam, all the things. So we've partnered with Exam One, and this is giving you a live calendar depending on the client's zip code that was put in for their address. So you can go on through, see what date or time. Let's say I want to go the 14th. These are the times available. I pick one. At that point, my physical exam for the client is then booked. Okay, the client will get an email invitation confirming they booked an appointment, and they'll also get a call the day before reminding them that they have an appointment. The examiner will go to the address listed. That can be changed. So if you have to, you'll just have to let us know. Then we go on and hit next. And then by that time, we're already into signing preferences. So if you're doing this for your client, you've gone all the way through the application, you could just email them this and they can sign on their own time. If you're doing it on Zoom, or maybe you're back to in person after all this craziness is over, I would hit sign now. Okay, so what this is doing is preparing a DocuSign e-signature. I'm sure you guys are all familiar with DocuSign. If you're doing it on Zoom, Zoom actually has a feature where you can pass the remote control and give your client the remote to sign at their own leisure. Let's see. All right, so here's DocuSign. One thing about DocuSign and with all the carriers, DocuSign is the only signature application that all carriers that accept e-applications will accept. So if you don't have your own DocuSign account, I do suggest you making one because it just makes it that much easier. So we're going to go on through. I'm sure you guys all know how DocuSign works. So I'm going to go in and dot my signature and sign it all the way through. So DocuSign has prepared this whole application for us. All you do is hit finish. And at that point, the most important person in the conversation, the client, is done. So this application was then sent directly to Nationwide or whatever carrier you did. And now we're going to jump into our back office support system, and that tracks everything from submission all the way to commission. Okay, so let's see. So your back office support system should look something like this. The main thing we ask you to do right away is just complete your contracting. So we have access to over 65 carriers. You will have access to all the carriers we have access to once you finish your just-in-time contracting. Once you finish your contracting packet. Once you submit a piece of business, then we do just-in-time contracting, and we get your appointment within 14 days, and we're able to submit the application. Okay, so that's how we do it. What you're looking at here, obviously commissions. We all want to know about the money, right? Like I said, we want you to complete your contracting, but it kind of gives you a timeline and a little checklist for you. So if you're looking at your front page, you'll have your top cases. If any applications have tasks that need to be done, these tasks will be listed here. And then if anyone goes on and does an quote on your software, you will see the application here. Another place you can look is if you go to quote and apply. Scroll down. These will be all the e-applications that were started on your quote and apply software. If you look here, it will tell you the carrier. You can go into each one and it will give you all the details, what carrier they picked, the product category, what current step they're at, their initial rating, right? What their premium will be. So you'll have all this information. Now down here, this tells you who has access to this case. You can chat with our case managers and case concierges in live time. If you ran any illustrations, they will be downloaded right here. And then of course the parties is who the insured, it's going to be their information. So as you see down here, this status just says a quote. So a quote just means someone went onto your application. Someone went onto your software, started a quote, right? Maybe they picked a carrier, but then they didn't do anything else. If this status says lead, that means they went onto your software, they picked a carrier, they went into the application, and they put in their email address and phone number and hit next. That's when it turns into lead, because then you have their follow-up information, right? If it's completed, they went all the way through, the client has signed and the agent has signed. Okay, so those are the statuses. Now let's see. If you go to your profile, that's another place where you can see everything. So all your cases that you have that are active or approved will be under cases. Any clients, all right here. E-applications, anyone that goes on your software, you will know about it. You will get a notification and they will show up under e-applications. If you request any quotes, again, they'll be under your quotes. So let's just talk about marketing real quick. This software, guys, everybody and anybody needs to know you have this software, okay? I'm gonna go over an email that most of you should have gotten when you signed up with Josh or I, and it kind of gives you a few steps on how to start marketing this thing, okay? So let's go over here. So this is a welcome email that Josh or I send when you guys sign up, and it gives you your link to your website, a custom button for you that's also linked to your website, a QR code, again, that's linked to your website, and then we give you some instructions. Okay, so the first thing is to add your link to your email signature. Give everybody and anybody the opportunity that you email to apply and get quotes in seconds and apply in minutes, right? Second thing is send it to all your current clients, your future clients, your friends, your family, yell it from the rooftops. Everybody should know, again, that you have this software. Give everybody that opportunity to run quotes in seconds and apply in minutes, right? And then the third thing is to add this link to any social media outlets you use. So LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Social media is huge right now. Everybody's going to social media for recommendations, for information. So you want to make sure it's out there. People now more than ever don't want to sit with life insurance agents for hours going over all these questions, right? They want to go in, they kind of want to peek around, see what you have to offer, and then ask questions after. So this software is exactly what they need. We even give you some taglines as well. My favorite is sick of dealing with life insurance agents. Click here to run a quote in seconds and apply in minutes. Okay. If you are not really using social media, you're not really sure where to start, let me know. I have done a social media webinar that I can send you for you to watch. And it kind of gives you some tips and shows you how to add it to your email signature, shows you how to post, shows you what it looks like. Okay. So if you haven't gotten this email, please let me know. So another thing we have for you under our marketing tab on your boss system, so your back office support system, is we have 7 pre-made templates for you. Okay, maybe you know people who just got a house, right, and you want to send them new mortgage, new life insurance. This is a campaign already built for you. Your quoting link will be here. This will be all your information and your picture or logo, whatever you prefer. If you have some type of mail service like MailChimp or Constant Contact, you can use this HTML code here and you'll just copy it. And then you're going to paste it right into your mail service like MailChimp and the campaign will generate. Okay. If you're doing it right on here, that's totally fine. You can input up to 100 emails at a time. So if you have 500 clients, just send it out 5 different times, right? I would suggest running about a 7-week drip campaign. We have 7 different campaigns each week, sending out a new campaign, just trying to get some traction on your site. Okay, so that's what we have in marketing. When it comes to products, we have over 400 products that we offer through Back9. Everything we offer is all laid out here for you, what the commission is, what the renewal is in excess of target. You can look by carrier. Let's say we're looking for Allianz, right? You can look by line of insurance. So whether you're doing disability, long-term care, variable life, whatever it is, you can look that way. Or you can just search the product, okay? Guys, this software is 100% complimentary. We don't ask you for anything. You guys get paid directly from the carrier, just directly to you. We have no parts in that, okay? The other thing I want to show you, I did talk about an impaired risk quote, right? So if you have someone who's upfront with you about maybe medications they're taking, or maybe they had diabetes, or let's say cancer in the past, whatever the case may be, I would highly suggest you do an impaired risk quote before you just apply for them. The reason being is because when you're doing an impaired risk quote, we fill out this quote right here, and then we send it directly to the underwriters, okay? And then we'll get an offer between 24 and 48 hours, we'll get an offer from the carrier, whether it's gonna be an offer or a decline. But then we have more of an idea of where we stand with this policy, right? The good thing about this is that it will not take a hit to their MIB, okay? So let's say they apply, they do an impaired risk quote, they get denied, let's say from John Hancock. 2 months down the line, they kind of, fix the problem and they apply again. John Hancock won't know that they just got denied previously, okay? So all you do is put the insured's name, let's say a birth date, gender. So you do have to fill in every single box. So let's just say it was diabetes, okay? Age of onset, you have to fill in every box. So if you don't know it, just put not available. But in order for these carriers to pop up on the bottom, everything has to be filled out. okay? Coverage type, I always recommend that you apply from the most you think you would want to get. It's much easier for us to move down versus trying to get a higher face value, okay? And then these carriers pop out the bottom. So this is where you can pick and choose what carriers you want to send this application to, okay? So if you can go in, pick whatever ones you want. If you're not sure for a specific impairment, please let us know. We do have certain carriers that might be easier with certain impairments, okay? If you decide, you know, I don't like Lincoln National, take it right off. Once I do that, I hit create quote. And then my quote is then sent to all those different carriers. Once you receive offers, they will appear here and you'll have all your offers in one spot so you can kind of compare and contrast. Once you get an offer, maybe they're giving a table rating or something like that. We then go back into your quote and apply. We put the table rating in and whatever else they ask, and we run it that way to get a more accurate quote for your client. When it comes to impairments, I know a lot of times we're not really sure what the information that we're going to need, right? So before you do an impaired risk quote and you're not, you know, if you're not sure of the information you need, I would go to forms and applications. Here we have questionnaires for a lot of different impairments. So we just did one on diabetes, right? I would download this and then I would give this directly to my client and have them fill it out or go over it with them. That way I have all the information that I need in order to fill out that impaired risk quote as accurate as possible. Okay, so again, they are under forms and applications, and then the impaired risk quotes are right here. Like I showed you before, we do have over 400 products that we offer at Back Nine Insurance. So we do have other quoting options as well. Not everything will be under quote and apply software, but if you need something and you know that we have it, but it's not on quote and apply, you're just going to request a quote. And you want to make sure what line it is. We do have a disability, annuities, long-term care, life. And then again, you put in all the information, and then in the description, you're going to describe exactly how you want that quote to be written. Then you will get a response within 24 hours from our quoting genius, Todd, and he'll give you some options. Okay. Everything on here, guys, you can't break anything. So I would just suggest you kind of go in, play around, look around, see what's there, see the options that are there, right? If you're looking for webinars or just some help videos, we do have those listed in our help center. Again, Josh and I do webinars at least once a week. So we also have all of our webinars listed on our YouTube channel, and that is in my email signature. Okay. Let's see if I missed anything else. I don't believe so. So again, when it comes to contracting, guys, we have a one-time contracting packet. Once you fill out that packet, you then have access to all the carriers that we have access to. Okay, once you submit a piece of business, we then do just-in-time contracting and we get your appointment that way. If you have appointments already in place, a lot of carriers do allow dual contracting. So if you do your quote and your application through quote and apply, we can apply for another appointment. So it won't mess up any previous appointments you have in place. All right. The other thing I do want to talk to you quick is about your software. So your software, you're able to embed it on any website and look exactly like that website, right? So you won't necessarily see that maybe anything about Back Nine Insurance, right? You won't see anything about the agent, but it will look exactly like the website that it's on. So I want you to start thinking about relationships you already have. Maybe you have a friend who works at a PNC office or a realtor's office or anything like that. Okay, so just start thinking, because your website, your software can be embedded on any website. All right. Let's see. So I think I'm going to end it there. I don't want to give you too much information, but I appreciate you guys all hopping on with me. Again, just go on, play around with the software, run a quote on yourself, do an application on yourself, see how it really goes. And then if you have questions, we're always here to help. Okay. So I will wait a minute and let's do, see if there's any questions. All right. I will forward the welcome email if you haven't gotten it. I will jump back really quick. Someone asked where the calculator was. So let's go back in, see it in action. No, I don't need help. And I'm just going to go through it pretty quickly. Smoking use, height and weight, birth date. Oops. We'll hit no thank you. And then we get quotes. Okay. You see it right here, change or calculate death benefit. You're going to hit calculate. That's where you're going to go through these numbers with your client to get the most accurate amount of what they need to cover these expenses. Okay, I hope that was helpful. Another question about security. So we are very, very serious about, we take our security very seriously. We have the same security as a bank does. So if you go onto our Back9 website, if you scroll down and you look at security, this breaks it down to exactly what we have, exactly what we do, just so you feel comfortable and you feel confident and safe, right? And your clients feel the same way. Let's see what else. When it comes to the exam, you are able to book the exam. Usually the carrier will still have to request it. So once they request it, then it will go through. It won't be seen as pending anymore. So if you have another question about that, let me know. All right, guys. Well, I think we've pretty much covered everything. Again, if you have questions, I am really here to help. I will put my email address in the chat box. So in case you need anything, feel free to email me. If you want to have that conversation with your clients about permanent insurance, but you just don't feel comfortable, let us know. We'll hop on with your clients and kind of go over it and educate them a whole way through. And besides that, guys, again, I appreciate you hopping on and hope you guys have an amazing day. Thank you.